The NBA's got a fresh batch of ballers lighting up the court this season. From Chet Holmgren's jaw-dropping moves to Victor Wembanyama's sky-high potential, these rising stars are rewriting the game's rules and carving their names in hardwood history. We're going to count down the top 5 rising stars of 2024. We'd like to know in the comments below, who's your top 5 rising stars? Here we go. At number 5, let's talk about the lanky wonder kid, Chet Holmgren, strutting his stuff for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Imagine this. You're at a rookie pageant, and our man Chet is sashaying down the runway. Sure, he's not wearing the crown because Victor Wembanyama took that home, but Chet's giving us one heck of a show that's making everyone sit up and take notice. Holmgren's rookie season is like watching a prodigy in action. You know, the kid who aces piano recitals and still has time to crush it on the basketball court. Defensively, he's already a nightmare for opposing players with arms so long he could practically scratch his kneecaps without bending over. Blocking shots? Oh, that's just his version of a friendly greeting. His offensive game is like a fine wine, maturing nicely with time. We're seeing glimpses of a future where he's not just good, but great. Now, here's the thing. Chet's got the skills, but everyone's out here playing the waiting game like a reality show cliffhanger, wondering if he's going to add some meat to those bones. It's like he's the lead in a sports version of The Biggest Gainer, where we're all tuning in to see if he can bulk up and transform from string bean to beefcake. But let's be real. If he could pull a Giannis and go from skinny to swole, then we're talking serious all-star material. But the real magic trick here is the Thunder's young core. Holmgren, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Jalen Williams, forming a trio so dynamic it's got other teams sweating. Shai Gilgeous out there playing like he's got a cheat code, and Jalen's holding his own like a seasoned vet. Together, they're like a superhero team in the making, just waiting for their blockbuster debut. OKC's rebuild is supposed to be a slow burn, right? Nah, these guys are speeding up the timeline like they've got a DeLorean parked out back. We're talking about a team that could crash the postseason party way ahead of schedule, making noise while everyone else is still figuring out how to rebuild their rosters. In short, while Wemby might be the shiny new toy everyone's talking about, don't sleep on Holmgren. He's that intriguing mix of potential and immediate impact, like a rookie who's already got his eyes on the big prize. If he can pack on some pounds and keep developing his game, the sky's the limit. The Thunder? They're looking like a young squad that's ready to shock the world sooner rather than later. All right, let's stir the pot a bit more and talk about Jaylen Williams, who we've got pegged at number 4. Now, before you start sharpening your pitchforks and lightening your torches, hear me out. Picking Jalen over Chet Holmgren might ruffle some feathers, but we genuinely believe Williams is the most underrated gem in the NBA right now. Picture this, it's Jalen's second season and the dude is knocking on the door of 20 points per game. If you're a stats junkie like us, you'd be drilling over his month-by-month game log. It's like watching a stock that just keeps going up. Consistency and improvement every single month. He's not just good, he's on a steady climb to greatness. It's like he's found the cheat codes for NBA stardom. Let's put it into perspective. In a team filled with young talent, Jalen has carved out his role as the definitive number 2 scoring option for the Thunder. And we're not talking about any random team here. We're talking about one of the best squads in the Western Conference. That's right, the Wild, Wild West, where competition is fierce and the stakes are high. Jalen's game is smooth. Need a clutch bucket? Jalen's got you. A defensive stop? No problem. Like a little razzle-dazzle to get the crowd on their feet? You bet. He's the guy who does it all, and he's doing it better every single night. Now let's talk future. As the Thunder rise in notoriety, and trust me, with this young core, they will, Williams is going to be standing tall as an all-star. Picture it. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander drawing double teams, Holmgren swatting away shots like he's playing volleyball, and Jalen cool as a cucumber, racking up points and wowing the fans. It's like watching the Avengers assemble, and Jalen is that underrated hero who ends up saving the day more times than you'd expect. So while Holmgren might be the shiny new toy everyone's talking about, Jalen Williams is the dependable player you can't afford to overlook. He's the steady hand, the rising star, and the secret weapon all rolled into one. Give it a few years and wouldn't be surprised to see him becoming a household name, an all-star, a key piece to the Thunder's championship puzzle. Grab your popcorn, folks, because Jalen Williams is about to put on a show that you won't want to miss. The Thunder are brewing something special, and Jalen is right at the heart of it. Let the debates rage on, but remember, sometimes the most underrated players end up being the biggest stars. All right, folks, let's get into the nitty-gritty with our number 3 pick, Brandon Miller from the Charlotte Hornets. If you were worried about his shaky start, it's time to relax and enjoy the show because this guy has found his groove and is putting on a clinic. After a bit of a bumpy ride at the beginning of the season, Miller has hit the gas pedal and hasn't looked back. Over his last 8 games, he's been torching the Nets with an average of 23.5 points per game. That's right. He's heating up like your favorite hot sauce, and it's spicy. This scoring surge is no fluke. It's a sign of things to come. Miller's transformation into a scoring machine has been a sight to behold, and it's only going to get better from here. Now, if you're a Hornets fan, you've got to be buzzing with excitement. It's like watching a fireworks show that keeps getting more spectacular with each burst. He's poised to become the Hornets' top scoring threat, and honestly, it's about time someone stepped up to take the reins. But let's not stop there. Looking ahead, the duo of Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball is shaping up to be one of the most electrifying tandems in the league. It's the kind of pairing that makes you want to buy season tickets and popcorn in bulk. LaMelo's flashy playmaking combined with Miller's emerging scoring prowess? That is a recipe for highlight reels and W's, my friends. And a bold prediction perhaps would be that Miller will surpass LaMelo Ball as the face of the franchise sooner than you think. I know. LaMelo is the current darling with his flashy passes and social media swagger, but Miller's all-around game and scoring ability are setting him up to take the crown. It's like watching the understudy outshine the lead in a Broadway play. Unexpected, but oh, so satisfying. So to sum it up, Brandon Miller started the season like a sputtering engine, but then he revved up at full speed to finish it out. His scoring explosion has been a game changer for the Hornets, and he continues to grow. The sky's the limit. Pairing up with LaMelo, he's given Charlotte fans plenty to cheer about and a future to be genuinely excited for. Get ready, NBA, because Brandon Miller is not just a rising star, he's a supernova in the making. And for the Hornets, well, they might just be on the verge of something special. Hold on to your hats because we're diving into the magic, quite literally, with our number 2 pick, Paolo Banchero from the Orlando Magic. Now, this guy isn't just a playmaker. He's a phenomenon in the making. Imagine being 21 years old, leading your team to its best season in years, and securing your first All-Star bid. If that's not a recipe for future greatness, I don't know what is. Paolo Banchero has been nothing short of spectacular. Every month, he seemed to add up another trick to his bag, evolving his game like he's on a quest to unlock every achievement in NBA 2K. It was like he had a monthly subscription to greatness, and he's making sure he gets every bit of value out of it. This season, Banchero has been the linchpin for the Magic. His ability to lead at such a young age is reminiscent of those legends you hear about in basketball lore, the ones who are just destined for stardom. He's not just a flash in the pan. He's a sustained explosion of talent, energy, and skill. Let's talk about the Magic's future, which, with Banchero at the helm, is looking brighter than a Florida summer day. The team has a collection of excellent prospects, and Paolo is the crown jewel in the treasure chest. With his leadership and continually evolving game, the Magic aren't just aiming to be good, they're looking to be contenders year in and year out. Picture a young core growing together, learning the ropes, and with Banchero leading the charge, the Magic could very well become a powerhouse in the Eastern Conference. We're talking about a team that could make deep playoff runs and maybe, just maybe, bring a championship to Orlando. It's the kind of future that gets fans hyped and opposing teams worried. To sum it up, Paolo Banchero isn't just the future of the Magic, he's the future of the NBA. His first All-Star bid is just the beginning. As he continues to evolve and lead, the sky's the limit for him and his team. Orlando has struck gold with Banchero, and it's going to be a thrilling ride watching him shine. So grab your popcorn, sit back, and enjoy the show. Paolo Banchero era has begun, and it promises to be a blockbuster. Well, here we are at number 1, and you guessed it, Victor Wembanyama, the Spurs' towering prodigy. Every time we watch this guy, we feel like we're witnessing something straight out of a sci-fi movie. I mean, who knew the human body could do some of the things Wemby pulls off? Definitely not mine. That's for sure. This guy is redefining what's possible for someone standing at a jaw-dropping 7'4". Let's talk stats, because Wemby's are the stuff of legend. Averaging nearly 21 points, 10 rebounds, and just about 3.5 block shots per game, he's like a walking, talking cheat code. If he were playing in the Eastern Conference instead of the talented stacked West, he'd probably be an all-star already. That's not just a prediction, that's practically a guarantee. The East would have thrown parades for those numbers. But here's the kicker. Wemby has shattered every sky-high expectation set for him since he first dunked on a Fisher-Price hoop as a toddler. Okay, well maybe not that far back, but you get the idea. People have been watching him, waiting for him to stumble, to not live up to the hype. Spoiler alert, he's done the exact opposite. He's soared past the hype like it's standing still. We're at a point where anything less than Wemby becoming a 15-time All-Star might be seen as a letdown. Imagine the pressure. It's like telling a chef, hey, if every meal you cook isn't a 5-star masterpiece, we're sending it back. But guess what? Wemby seems to thrive on this pressure. It fuels him, pushes him to be even better. His ability to handle the ball, shoot from deep, and protect the rim is unparalleled, and he does it all with a fluidity that makes you forget he's 7'4". It's like someone spliced together footage of a guard and a giant and created this basketball savant. Greatness doesn't just await Wemby. It's practically rolling out a red carpet for him. The Spurs have struck gold, and we're all lucky enough to witness the beginning of what promises to be an illustrious career. This guy is set to redefine the game, break records, and make us all rethink what's possible on the court. Victor Wembanyama, the phenom, the future legend, the basketball wizard who's making us all believe in magic. The journey has just begun. And if his start is any indication, we're in for one heck of a ride. Buckle up, NBA fans, because Wemby is about to take us to places we've never been before. In closing, we can say that the NBA's future is looking brighter than ever, thanks to these rising stars, from Chet Holmgren's mesmerizing moves to Victor Wembanyama's sheer dominance. They're rewriting the game's playbook with every play. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, because the next generation of basketball greatness is here, and it's going to be legendary.